Hey everyone, I'm just getting ready to do my edge retention test on the factory edge of this native 5 G10 15V sprint run. So I've got some material here. For those of you who don't know, my edge retention testing consists of me cutting 1/4 inch rope, what I call soda box cardboard. I always use the same stuff as best I can. We'll do this to a point where the knife gets to a certain level of dullness, which is actually still quite sharp, but it's just where I go. I do test factory edges. Some of you may not like that. I know factory edges are not always reliable for comparisons, but I only get one chance to do it, so I do it. And that's where we're at today. So I'm gonna get a quick best test reading on this thing. On my initial impressions of this knife, I said the knife is very, very sharp out of the box, which it is. This is where it's at on the catalog paper. This is a paper I'm going to be used to measure how it's dulling during my testing. And I'm using as little pressure as I can to make these cuts. I'm very gently holding this knife. I'm being very gentle. And it's just gliding through that. This knife is very sharp. Factory edge, hasn't cut anything other than just some paper and a couple arm hairs. See where this guy's at. Again, my edge retention testing kind of uses this portion of the knife right here. So that's the part I have to put on the best tester. .109. Very sharp. This really is a very, very sharp factory edge. Way to go, Spyderco. Perfectly sharp still. I love the way this knife holds. It's very, very good for this task. call it there. Now we're gonna see if this knife can cut this notebook paper. If it can, the test will continue with 1/2 inch rope. Yep. So we're going to continue the test on 1/2 inch rope. This is what it looks like. It's much more substantial. We'll do it in cycles of 10. So we'll do 10 cuts on this 1/2 inch rope and we'll continue cutting soda box cardboard. So definitely not reliably cutting. There's a problem from here up. Everything up to there is about good. So we're gonna stop it there. So the final result was 450 cuts on the 1/4 inch rope plus 70 cuts on the 1/2 inch rope for a total of 520 cuts on rope and cardboard. Here are some other Spyderco factory edges in 15V for comparison. Factory edge of the Military 2 in 15V got 200 cuts on the 1/4 inch rope, then 110 cuts on the 1/2 inch rope, for a total of 310 cuts on rope and cardboard, approximately a third of which were on the 1/2 inch rope. The factory edge on the Mannix Lightweight in 15V got 450 cuts on 1/4 inch rope, 0 cuts on 1/2 inch rope, for a total of 450 cuts on rope and cardboard. .153, so this is still very sharp, even though that test is stopped. Now, one of the problems with this tester is there's no way for me to know that there could be one kind of ding or flat spot in the edge, which is catching on the paper, and perhaps I hit just before or past that. So this is not the best thing, but I want to do it so you guys can see. But clearly you could see it was snagging on the paper up there, so test gets stopped there. So the best results were starting 109, ending 153. One thing this shows is that my method for edge retention testing is testing the very sharpest portion of the knife edge. I like my knives to be very sharp, so this is an important metric to me. Also, it takes a lot of material and time to test really deep into super amount of dullness. So take this for what it's worth. So part of the follow-up for the test is after it's done being tested, I tried to see if the knife will strop back. Today I'm going to try using this wood strop with 0.25 micron stroppy stuff compound.
Stropping, I go tip to heel, then heel to tip. On the heel to tip part, it's the only way I can really accurately feel the angle, which I think is more important to get the angle right than to get the direction tip to heel or heel to tip.
I'd say that's good enough. Not quite as sharp as it was when this knife started, but it's pretty dang close.
So now I'm going to continue to test this knife. Stand by for further information. And as always, thank you so much for watching.